What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Sakura, the most useless talk show about anime and gaming. And today, we have a very special guest. Along with me and NoGoodTsunax, we have Miss Valerie Rose Lohman, aka Michelle Light, aka Rachel. How you doing today?
Oh my
I'm
God.
doing great. I'm very excited to be here.
Oh man, I'm excited. I know we spoke. We could only speak up to episode 7, but as a
Yes.
dub watcher,
hmm
I hate your character. I, I hate what you become.
Oh,
Um, but as of episode 7, we find out that she's hiding the fact that she is Rachel,
Yes.
and she even went to the extent of telling Kun, "Hey, don't say anything." She's like, "You're eating apples by yourself and you're isolating yourself," and it's
Yep.
like, and Dorsey said it best when she said, "Is whatever on the top worth more than this guy?"
hmm hmm
So, with that said, as a guy who dealt with rejection in the past, you make good guys. It's like you got a good guy, cute guy chasing you, and then you're like, I just want to see the stars, and then
Yep.
that's it.
Yep. She's well, I what I what was really interesting about recording it was I didn't know any of the twists and turns until I was actually in the booth working on it. So, like the first 4 episodes, I thought Rachel was like really pure-hearted and really sweet and like just like a Disney princess. And then as we were going along, like I'm watching the original in the booth with our director, and I'm like looking at her and like yelling like, What is going on? Like what?" So it's been a ride for me as well. I had no idea that she was going to be such a divisive character, but I
nice.
love playing her.
Very dis. When I first started watching, I know Suna reads the webtoons, and he told me that you're gonna hate her. And I said no. She should. It's gonna be good. She's gonna meet up with Bam, and it's gonna be
Oh,
it's gonna be good. But yeah, very
Yeah.
divisive.
I'm really excited for the last 2 episodes of the dub to come out. I want to make sure that I'm live tweeting those because
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen any of it. I mean, I've seen my stuff because I had to do pickups a couple weeks ago, but I haven't seen any of it, so I'm very excited.
No, yeah, I finished watching the final episode. Then I went back and watched all of it in dub. But after watching the final episode, I was like, damn, I should have asked her to come after it finishes on dub because there's just so much I wanna. So I have to get you back here, but
We'll have to do a follow-up.
we'll definitely have to do a follow up. What was your favorite part about Tower God so far?
Well, I love the music. I I love all the characters. I love like the alliances that are made. I'm a little behind on catching up. I'm a little behind on watching the dub. I think I'm on episode around 4-ish. But obviously I know what happens because I've read the scripts. Um, but I don't know. There's so much I love about it. Like I said, when I read the script, I loved Rachel right from the beginning because I thought she was like a Disney princess, and that's kind of what our direction we went through when I first started voicing her. So that was really enjoyable. I'm like really stoked to be a part of it. I had no idea that it had a huge fan base when I signed on to it. I was like, oh, this is gonna be like a 2-day gig. Great. I like my agent emailed me telling me I booked it, and I was like, awesome, cool, be in the studio next week, whatever. And then and then the Tower of God Twitter followed me on Twitter because they followed all the English cast before we got announced, and then I saw like the crazy large fan base, and I was like, oh, this is a big thing. So that's been very exciting.
It is. It is. It's what is it? The first webtoon
Yeah.
to be made. So how does it feel to be part of that? Because it's like this is about to be a new era. We got a
hmm
high school next,
hmm
and just a lot more coming after that.
Yeah, and then the fact that it's like a Crunchyroll original, it's very cool. I had only done a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of anime prior to this, so It's been very exciting to kind of get thrust into like a high profile project like this and
Mm.
like jump in feet first and like explore this world of this community. So it's been very exciting.
Okay, okay. Suna, what was your favorite part so far about Tower of God?
Ah, okay. Well, if we're talking about the anime, the
Yeah,
7 episodes,
7 episodes.
I think finding out like about the princess of
Shahad.
freak Jahad. Yes, I almost forgot the name. And finding out that you're not supposed to marry or do anything like that, but Anak's mother went against it, and she still did it, and then because of that, she had to die. And finding out that they're all imposters, quote unquote. Just finding out the like more background lore that just opens up more was very
Hmm.
interesting, and I liked it so much. And I just want to know more, but I'm just waiting
Yeah.
hopefully to see the episodes. Like I'll probably have to skip to the actual webtoons comics to catch up, but for now I'm enjoying watching it. It's I know that they leave a few things out from the webtoons comic, so I mean you're probably gonna have to read it anyway. But just hearing like how they're opening more and the world building and how it's seemingly small, but then you learn something else and it opens up more and more, and that's what
Yeah.
I like about it so far. It's kind of like One Piece in a sense where it feels like you're this small character, right, in this
Hmm.
little world, but one thing just finding out one little detail that makes it seem like, hey, the ocean is a really big place, and then these other places that are like around that you just want to find out. But right now you're stuck in this one moment. So
Oh
I just
yeah.
think the world is great. I love it so far. So yeah, I can't say too much for the characters are all great too. But like I said, Rachel's kind of a difficult character to like, but she's interesting. So I'll give her the benefit of the doubt for now. But yeah, much as that as far as that goes, yeah, that's how I feel about it. And I have a question for you too, Ms. Valerie, because this is something
Yeah.
I want to really know. And so how does it feel like when you're like obviously you said you've watched 4 episodes, so you
Hmm.
record these, you go back and then you listen to yourself, and like how does that feel? How do you know like do you pay attention to did I word this wrong? Does it match the facial expressions of the character?
Um,
How does it feel like voice act the character and then go back and then you watch what it is that you voice recorded and it's like, oh, okay, uh, I like the way this sounded or stuff like that.
what's really nice is like we had a really great creative team. Like our director, she was really she knew the world really well, and she was really the guide in making sure everything was seamless and worked really well between character to character. So I mean, I think the coolest part is not necessarily like self-critiquing when you watch it back, but it's like seeing how every other character that you're interacting with is creating the world, and you're a part of something. You are a small part of something so much bigger. And I think that's really cool because I mean, really, I mean, I- our team isn't just the American voice cast. I mean, when we're in the booth, we listen to the original Japanese, and that I always make sure to like kind of infer tone from, and then seeing all the arts, it's just really cool to see everything put together. Um, and like I said, my thing, I always love when music is added because it just like takes me on a journey. So just seeing it put together is always really, really, really cool.
Yeah. Oh, and something I want to add as well. And like when you record these voice lines, you're not like standing next to like let's say another voice actor that has a different line. Like, are they all recorded like separately
Yeah,
or
all
like
separate. And
yeah?
we actually recorded the second half of the series while in quarantine. So I recorded up to episode, I think 7 in studio in LA, and then we had to figure out how to record the last chunk of episodes from home.
Yeah.
So that
Oh,
was
so
very interesting and very exciting. So like I'm sitting on my laptop. I have the dub, I mean the original on my laptop so that I can match my words, and I'm on call with the creative team and the engineer, and it was nuts, but cool. In my pillow fort that I is my home studio. So
You gotta ask.
yo, okay, that's
Okay.
dope.
it's
Um,
fun.
what type of talent or personality do you think you need to book work in your line of work?
I think you just have to be I think people always ask me about like getting into voiceover, and I think the most important thing is to realize that like so many people can do like a funny voice. Everyone can do a silly voice. or things like that. But I think the most important thing is learning how to act. I started in professional theater as a kid, and I've done a lot of film and TV. Um, and I grew up watching voiceover, so I loved it, and I kind of fell into it about 5 years ago. About 5 years ago. Um, and I think that's important, but I think more important than anything is to be like a kind person. And I know that sounds silly, but like word gets around fast. It's a small industry, and like when I refer my friends to jobs, I love working with people who are nice and love what they do and just like want to build each other up. I think that's important in like every industry. So that's my biggest. I love that about people.
I actually really like the sound of that. It's actually very admirable. That's really cool, actually.
Thanks. I just think it's important.
What is a day in the life of a voice actor? Now, besides when you're outside your pillow fort.
Um, Always different. So some days, I mean, I have amazing agents who are always sending me auditions. So I from every week I get anywhere from like I've done anywhere from like 2 to 50 auditions a week. Um, and then you book some, you don't. I think this year I've probably had 500 voiceover auditions this year, and I probably booked like 10, which is not, I mean, that's like a normal rate because you just kind of audition for everything. Um, yeah, it's a lot of drinking tea. I also narrate audiobooks, so it's a lot of doing that, and I do a lot of on-camera auditions still because I still work in that. So it just kind of varies. I always feel like people think it's really exciting. It is, because I think it's exciting because I love like getting in the character's head, and I feel like when I exit the booth, I've like lived a character's life. But really, I just like crawl in my booth and like yell and pretend I'm being punched or punching people and sweat a lot, and then I come out and play with my dog or like hang out. I mean, especially during quarantine, I kind of just like work and then I like come out of my booth and watch movies and like hang out with my family. So it's I love it so much, but it's not the most like I feel like to the average person they'd be like, your life seems kind of like normal, and it is. It's fun. I love it. I adore it. So yeah, I love my pillow fort world. It's fun.
So you talked about you got first of all, back to the audio book before we get into what I was gonna say. You doing Livingston Girls. You did the narration for
Yeah.
Livingston Girls. What is that about?
So it's about a girl named Rose who 16-year-old girl. She has to go to boarding school because she had a incident with her teacher at her former high school. So she moves away from her family and everything she knows to attend this boarding school, and she's super loner. And she ends up joining a coven of witches and falling in love with one of the girls in the coven. So it's LGBTQ, just in time for Pride Month, and Brianna Morgan is the author, and she's an amazing, amazing up and coming horror writer. And it was a blast working on it because I love like spooky shit. Halloween is my favorite holiday, so
Hey,
I've loved it, and it's out now, so you can read it and or listen to me read it to you. And
Where can people get it?
Audible, it's on Audible and on iTunes. And then if you hit me up, if you go on my Instagram, there's a link in my bio for it.
Yeah, I will. I'll definitely add that the link tree
Yeah,
down
no,
in the
thank you.
description of the Spotify and on in the YouTube description.
Awesome, thank
Uh,
you.
what I wanted to ask before is, so you said you do like 500 auditions, or like, how do you deal with rejection?
Um, I so okay, so it kind of goes back to like the being kind thing about like the people that you work with. I'm a firm believer that you're going to get the parts that that you are right for, that were made for you. And there's like nothing in the world can stand in the way. If like a part's meant for you, it's going to come to you. But also like there I have so many friends that we audition for the same parts all the time. And sometimes they get it and sometimes I get it. And it's just sometimes you just the other person fits better, and it's I don't really feel it as like a ding of, oh, you weren't good enough. I just feel like you're not right for this part. Like I just was in Smite. I did a character on the video game Smite, and I think I auditioned for Smite like 45 times or something like that before I booked the part that I booked.
You booked Artemis.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah,
Yeah. I used to play a lot of Smite, but I
awesome.
know I am thinking about coming back because they just released
Avatar.
ah the Avatar Battle Pass,
Yeah,
Yep.
I saw that.
which I love Aang, but I'm definitely coming back for Korra.
Okay.
A lot of people hate me, but I think Korra was the best Avatar. Her story is just so much better than Aang. Aang was linear, like he was frozen. He has to stop this guy from destroying all the four kingdoms or taking it over. Korra had to deal with like four different enemies in every season, and then on top of that, like the ending, she wasn't. They made it seem like she wasn't straight, like because she ended off walking into the spirit world holding the girl's hand, and it was.
Yeah.
And I know that was a controversy with Nickelodeon, but her story is just so much better. The way her development was made is just I like her better. So I'm definitely thinking about. I play a lot of shooters, so like
Okay.
Call of Duty and
Yeah.
Overwatch.
Very
Um,
nice.
well, what type of games do you play? Because I know you were in Edith Finch.
I was, and I was also in Wolfenstein.
Mm-hmm. Young Blood.
Yep. I am just starting to get into a little bit of gaming. My girlfriend's a big gamer, so I watch her a lot of the time. So like right now she's replaying Mafia 2 and I'm watching that. Um, I love watching the Assassin's Creed games. I've been watching Assassin's Creed Odyssey lately, and I really want to start getting into playing because I really want to play The Last of Us 1 and 2. And I know it's supposed to be like really hard to play, and I'm not good, but I really want to I want to try. So I'm getting into it. I feel like everyone asks me that, and I always am like, I'm not a gamer yet, but I want to be. So getting there. I love watching. I love seeing all my friends and stuff and being awesome. So I want to play more.
Well,
And
if you ever
honestly,
play Call of Duty, definitely let me know. What
Okay,
you
I
also
will.
tease. I was gonna say, and honestly, it's probably one of the best things to do right now. The gamers, we're thriving right now because
Oh
quarantine
yeah.
doesn't let us outside. So a lot of multiplayer games anyway. We get like any kind of semi-social interaction and like, just
Yes.
you don't to prevent you from actually going outside is like just staying inside and playing games for hours on end is pretty nice. Not too
Yeah.
healthy at times, but it's probably better than being outside.
But it's really cool to I think it's such a wonderful thing to have community in that way because like you can play with anyone anywhere. I think that's so
Yep.
cool.
Mhm.
Yes.
I made a lot of friends. I got friends in Australia, and I know when me and my wife decide to get married, there's gonna be a lot of people from my my friends list that I met on Call of Duty gonna be there. So
I
it's
love
I,
gonna be
that.
fun.
Oh, that's
I
so
hope you
fun.
get- yeah.
So yeah, if you play The Last of Us, Last one won the first one. Amazing game,
As I've heard.
amazing. Yeah, part two it was okay. I just finished part two. It
Okay.
was it's like that. It's like that sequel syndrome. It's like, oh, the second's never better than the first. It's a great game.
Okay, I'm excited to play it. I can't wait. I've loved everything I've seen from it. So if I can beat the first one because everyone's told me it's so hard. So first we got to get through the first one. So I'll let you know what happens.
Sounds good. Sounds. You said going back to let's go back to Tower of God.
Okay.
You said the music is amazing. I love the OP. I don't know what type of music
Yes, bro.
you listen to, but I guess like growing up, it went from like hip hop, R&B to now all I listen to is anime OPs, and Tower of God is always on rotation when I get out of work in the morning.
I just think it's so dramatic and like cool sounding. I love it. Right now I'm listening a lot of the She-Ra soundtrack because I just finished She-Ra season 5 2 weeks ago. So I've been listening to a lot of the soundtrack of that. Um, oh gosh, I listened to a lot of like Panic at the Disco. Uh, I don't know. A lot of Florence and the Machine, a lot of Lana Del Rey, but and then a lot of like movie soundtracks and TV soundtracks like find their way in there.
Okay, what do you love about what you do, and what don't you like?
Oh, that's a good question. I love getting to spend time as another person. I love getting to work with people who are really good at what they do. Um, like I love working with people who are making their vision come to life. I love seeing like fans receptions to things. I think the only thing I don't love is like waiting to find out when the next one's coming. Because I love working. I'm a workaholic. I just like really genuinely enjoy it. So, I mean, if it were up to me, I would work every day, and then if I wasn't working, I'd go to Disneyland. So, but I cannot do that right now. So,
No, you can't.
Yeah,
Not until they open.
not yet. Not yet.
that is a very good answer. I actually really like that answer. Living
It's
someone
true.
else's shoes. Wow.
It's fun. It kind of. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was done. I was just like, wow, like that's a very good answer.
It's fun.
Like I
I
was
think.
just
Yeah, sorry, we keep stepping on each other. Go ahead. Sorry, finish your thought.
I was just gonna say that's such a great answer. Like I never would have really thought about it like that, but that was just like some great insight you just provided me with. That's all. That's all I was gonna add. I'm so sorry. You can go
Thank
ahead
you.
now.
You're good. I was just gonna say, I think it's interesting to like live someone else's life for a little bit and then like take whatever you learned into your own life. I don't know. I just think it's like a cool way to like learn lessons and like have a new view on life without actually like going through the shit that your character has to go through.
What
Yeah.
do you what do you learn about being Rachel? Because if that's the case,
Oh gosh.
oh, man.
I don't know if I can say yet because we're not there in the dub. Learn lots of things. Learn lots of not how to not treat people. Um, yeah, what not to do. Um, yeah, I love Rachel because she's so. I think she's so. I think there's like a lot going on there, and I love that you don't quite know why she's like been in this cave her whole life. Um, I don't know. I've learned a lot from her. I love her. I love her and hate. I love playing her. It, I could go on and on.
Yeah.
I enjoy playing her very much.
My thing is, like, also going back to the lore, but what Suna said, where are the stars? Like, it's like she left the cave, and there's no stars around. That's what I'm curious to find out about. Like, what
Yeah.
happened to the world that they're in? It's like, it's no
Oh
sunlight.
yeah.
It's like, mm.
I that's what I want to know. And like, I want to know like where the heck did Bomb come from out of that weird little hole that she finds him in? I really
Yes.
want. I just want to know more.
He's just super powerful. I know in the
Yeah.
Crown game, that was like episode like 4 or 5 or 5 and
Mhm.
6.
Yeah. It was like
So somewhere around there.
Yeah.
When he leaps off to save Michelle,
Mhm.
gets hit in the head, and then like he just turns into pure Shinsu,
Yeah.
and it's like even further on, you learn like he's just crazy. Like
Oh
he's just
yeah.
like really good at things that he shouldn't even know.
No, exactly. And that part gave me chills um, when I finally saw it because when I recorded it, I didn't see any of that stuff. All I was recording was like the, huh? Ah, like the yells and like the reaction noises because I don't say very much in that episode. So when I finally saw that, I was like, what? What? It was very exciting.
But
So cool.
you get directions like if you like so that part I remember you fell over and Bam is just laying on top of you and you were already hit in the head.
Yeah.
So somebody's like directing you like, hey, this is what's happening. You got hit in the head. You're falling back. You open your eyes and you see Bam. He took a hit for you.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And then you do it a couple times and then they pick the best take and pop it in. So
Okay.
it's fun. And then I mean, you're watching it as you do it. So, but you're only watching like 4-second clips at a time so that you can get each sentence, each phrase, each reaction. So it's really technical. Whereas like traditional animation, you're often recording before the animation's done. So like they're working around you, whereas in dubbing, you're working around these preset parameters. It's kind of like it's like a cool I don't know, I think it's like cool like mind exercise to do.
Okay.
It's very
Okay.
fun. Yeah.
Who's your favorite character so far? besides Michelle?
I love Bomb. I think he's so cute. He's so precious. He's just so cute. Like he's so. I just
And
like want to like give him a hug and be like,
yeah,
"You're so enough. You don't need anyone else. Like you don't need to like follow this girl. Like you have all these friends." I love him. I think he's so cute.
My wife calls him a cinnamon roll or something like that. Cinnamon bun.
So cute.
It's like so this show it gives me a lot of Hunter x Hunter vibes.
I've not seen Hunter x Hunter. I've heard of it, but I've not seen it.
It's not that long. I think it's like 160 episodes, but it is
Okay.
amazing. So it's like that's why I'm drawn a lot to Kun. I love
Yeah.
Kun because he gives me that kilowatt vibe.
Okay.
And
oh yes,
it's whenever you got time during this quarantine life
Watch
and
it.
your pillow forts, you definitely got to sit and watch Hunter x Hunter because I feel
Okay.
like the webtoon also like kind of drew inspiration from that, but it's a very good
Oh, I love
and
that. Cool. I would give that a watch.
I
um
actually second that. Hunter x Hunter is actually amazing. It's a
Okay.
shame that it's on hiatus, the manga currently. So the anime is currently on hold, but nonetheless, it's a great series. And
Okay.
while we're on the topic of characters, I wanted to ask because I know
Yeah.
you've played not just anime characters, you've played video game characters. I've even starred in certain, I want to say, movies. Is that correct, or is it a TV show? I know I saw.
I've done a couple films and a couple TV shows. Yeah.
Hmm?
And
Okay,
a lot of animation and games.
right. And to that, I say, what do you think you like doing out of all of those, and like, what character did you like playing the most? Is what I want to ask.
Um, I like them all a lot for different reasons. I don't think I would ever want to be someone who just sticks to one. Like I grew up on theater. I I I learned how to act on stage. And then I fell in love with film because I love that you're in the world. You're in costume, you're on set with these other actors, you're on location. But I love motion capture because you're like it's completely based in imagination. You're running around a big open space with a suit with dots on it and a weird camera on your head, and you're just playing with other actors, and no one's watching you. And voiceover, you just get to be so silly. I make like the stupidest faces when doing voiceover, and I enjoy it. Um, I probably had the most fun working on Wolfenstein just because I made amazing friends while I was on that. I love playing Jess. I think she's such a weirdo, and I love doing her weird Texan accent. Um, and some of my best friends I made on that set because we all did the motion capture in Sweden together. So we all flew over there and worked for weeks and then came home and kept working together, and I love it. And my director on Wolfenstein, Tom Keegan, is like I like bow down to him. He's like he's a friend of I like to call him friend now. He's worked on everything. But I'm also like obsessed with his work and how he works and like how he is as a director and how he treats actors. Yeah. And Edith Finch was a blast. I didn't think it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be something really tiny, and it blew up, and it.
love yeah.
Yeah, I when I signed on to Edith Finch, I thought it was gonna be like a mobile game, like something really tiny, and then it like thrust me headfirst into the world of games, and I'm so grateful. I just again, I'm a workaholic. I love working. I find it so fun. So yeah.
I totally
Again,
answer that. All I do
really.
is try to work as much as I can.
I feel that.
Go ahead, Tuna. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying like that. That's also a really good answer. And I can understand. I can see why you would like to work in each one. So safe to say that you liked
Yeah.
playing the Wolfenstein character of Jess because you made more friends in that one, which I think is also a good answer.
It's
Damn.
just it's interesting because like for most voiceover you really don't work with other people. I've only ever done one other project where I've had like another actor in the booth with me, and it was someone playing my brother, so we were twins having to speak over each other. But other than that, I've never like had other actors to work with in the booth, whereas on Wolfenstein, even when we were finished doing the motion capture, Shelby Young, who plays my twin sister Soph, we were in the booth together every time. We were like working off each other, and that was so cool. And she's like one of my best friends now. So, and also like everything I've worked on, I like very rarely have had to work with like not nice people. So like it's all been fun because you like meet new people every time. And like someone once said to me, like the more you work and the higher you get, the less like crummy people there are because people don't want to work with those people. And I mean, I know that's not true for everyone. Everyone has different experiences, but I have found that in my personal journey to be true. I've loved everyone I've worked with. So,
Okay, good.
been a blast.
What do you say is the difference between voice acting in video games and let's just say anime?
Um, I think it just depends on the tone all around. I think there's a lot of similarities in Tower of God and like Edith Finch, where it's real, but there's like a heightened storytelling aspect. They're both kind of magical and mystical, and there's a little bit of a fairy tale vibe to both of those. Whereas like Wolfenstein, even though it's in an alternate universe, it's very cinematic and grounded and real. But then some games like in Smite, when I'm Artemis, she's like just over the top and ridiculous and like yells stuff. So I think it just differs from tone to tone. Some stuff's really real. Some stuff is like talking to you right now, and some stuff's like really over the top. I like the variation. I think it's nice not to do one of just one.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, you gonna be playing Smite anytime soon?
I should probably play it. I have not yet played it. I've watched like my character talking. I want to play it. I have not yet though. I will.
Okay. All right. How has this pandemic and this craziness going on in the world affected you and what you do on a daily?
I have been really lucky. I actually went full-time voiceover this uh 2 months ago. I quit my last little side job and I've like been able to go full-time into voiceover and acting, which I'm really grateful for. But I'm really lucky that I have my voiceover team that I do because they were imperative in sending us all info on like what mics we need for home recording, what kind of stuff we need set up for. I basically had to learn how to become an audio engineer and a voice actor in like 4 weeks, 3 weeks. Um, it forced me to learn how to do audiobook production. That was something I'd only ever gone to a studio to work on before. So it's been exciting because I've been working. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I can't talk about yet, but I'm really excited because there's a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline that I, I've had to learn the curveballs of working from home and also like making my dogs be quiet and scheduling sessions around the gardener coming like next door. Also, there's a man. I think the most difficult part has been and the neighbor is very nice. I have met him before. He's very nice. But I think he's really bored. So he mows his lawn every single day and he sings while he does it. And he mows for like 3 hours because I think he has nothing else to do, which is fine. I want him to do whatever he needs to do to get through this pandemic. But when I'm working and it's like the third hour of trying to say a sentence without like having audio get mucked up by like mowing
Moment.
sounds, my brain's just goes like ah. So that's been the biggest challenge is like sounds because I'm going to be buying like a real home booth soon because I'm working enough from home to justify that cost. But like right now, I'm working in my closet pillow fort with foam on the walls where there are pillows around me and like 5 layers of blankets. So
Okay, so you
Oh
got
wow.
a little music booth, a little hip hop booth you got there.
Yeah, it's like a little like I keep calling it like my Hobbit cave. It looks
Mm,
like a little Hobbit house from Lord of the Rings. It's very small. So, it's it's been an adventure.
yeah, it's a weird time. I know I'm going outside every day with gloves and a
Mhm.
face mask. I actually started going outside with my Akatsuki face mask. So last year I went to Anime Con
Mhm.
and me and my wife dressed up as Akatsuki members,
Okay.
and she was looking for Sailor Moon stuff. And there was an Akatsuki. There was like a place where they sell like different anime face masks.
Mhm.
And I got one. I was like, "Oh, babe, it's gonna match right now." And she goes, "Yeah, but when are you gonna wear it, right?"
Oh my
I was like,
gosh.
"All right, watch. I'm just gonna take it. I'll wear it today. F it. It's $20. I took it." So now with this whole pandemic is going on, she's like, "I'm mad I didn't get one," and I just look at her and I'm like,
Mhm. Yeah.
"That's what you get for not
Yep.
jumping."
Mhm. Yep. My mom's a nurse, so she was very like, I'm getting everyone medical grade masks here, and she like doled them all out to like me and my siblings. So we're like, because I have asthma, so I'm like very go away
hmm
germs.
hmm
So
Yeah.
yep, I'm going up to our my mom's house up north this weekend for 4th of July, and I'm like prepared with hand sanitizer and masks and gloves and stuff. So it's gonna be an adventure.
hopefully this goes away. I know they haven't. I know they canceled Comic Con.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna cancel Anime Con. I know they canceled Anime Expo.
Mhm.
So I'm just hoping that it all comes back next year, so I could be able to probably see you there. I think
I hope so.
that'll be amazing. This would be. Have you ever been to any cons?
I have been to WonderCon. I have been on a panel at LA Comic Con. I have been to Anime Expo with my siblings, probably 5 years ago, and then I've been to there's an LGBTQ con called Klexicon that I go to, and I was supposed to be a guest this year. It got canceled, but I'm really hoping to get to do all the cons next year because I love like meeting people and I love buying stuff. I love buying like art, so I'm really hoping to go next year to everything.
Yeah, I learned my lesson. So last year was my first Anime Con. My wife been to all the cons, and
Okay.
she should have taught me better. But it was like so many things that I wanted to get, and it's like, oh man, I can't carry this now. I'll come back
No,
later for it. You have to get it.
you do. You have to get it. Otherwise, it's gone.
No, there was this big like death row picture of like all the Akatsuki members with the black
Hmm.
background and big painting, and like, yo, it's so big, we're gonna come back for it. And by the end, we're like, all right, here's our money, sold out. We got this
Gone.
small one for you. I'm like, it's not
Not the same.
not the same. I wanted the big one.
Mm-mm. Yep. Yep. It's true. I love and I mean it's awesome that like their stuff sells out, but I you just gotta grab it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Are you scared for the next anime con? Like, let's say if you come on and they have like a Tower of God panel, are you afraid that people gonna throw like apples at you? Because that's all you eat right now.
I I get a lot of messages of like I really hate Rachel. I get a lot of that. So it's been like I'm not offended by it because I am not Rachel. I mean I am Rachel, but I'm not Rachel. But it's just like really interesting. I've never had I it's like an interesting thing because I love that like the fans are so invested, but I've never ever had someone just like message me to tell me how much they like hate my character. And I find it like really kind of funny. Um I don't know. Like I don't quite know how to respond to it because like I'm super excited that like these people are being moved by my character and like feeling something about her, but also like I don't know what to say back. Do I say like thanks
Thank
for letting me
you.
know or like so I usually just don't respond, but I read all my messages. But I yeah, I just started doing like I just signed with my first like convention appearance agent, so I'm doing like signings and like one-on-one virtual meet and greets right now. And I haven't done one yet, but I'm like really interested to see. I'm like, is someone gonna get on like a one-on-one call with me and just be like, I hate your character?
Just
Oh no.
straight the whole
I
time.
like have no idea. I think it's fascinating.
That just
I've
shows
never
how
played that.
good of a character like Rachel is. If she moves like, it's always like when you think about it, the great villains, like you hate them so much, but you're just stuck on watching them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like the Disney villains were always my favorite because you like love to hate them. So
Yes.
I love it. I am flattered, but also I don't know what to say to them. So I don't know.
Well, I hope it doesn't get too crazy in your inbox, especially with the next. Oh yeah, with the next couple episodes.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I'm like preparing.
you can turn off all comments and everything.
Yeah. I figure if I like live tweet and express my own outrage toward my own character, maybe people will be like, "Oh, she's not her character."
Yeah, she's on our side.
Oh,
Yeah, she's on our side.
Just
So
bash Rachel.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, like I love Rachel. I would like to keep playing her. So it's like interesting. It's interesting. I love seeing the fan stuff, and I love seeing the fan art,
Mm.
and I love there's like a big there's like a the the discussions of like people who are watching the dub only and like are posting fan art and stuff like that, and like, oh, I love Rachel, like she's so cute, and then people are commenting being like, you have no idea what you're in for. It's like really, it's just like really interesting to like, because I mean, people don't realize this, but I'm very active in like the Tower of God hashtag and stuff like that, and I love like following people and seeing what they're doing. Um, so I love seeing people's commentary. I think it's fascinating.
I think your voice is really good for acting.
Thank you.
Not only that, I was gonna add, besides Instagram, is there anywhere people can find you singing by any chance? Because I think you have a pretty good singing voice. And I was looking around Instagram a little bit, just like, I guess, examining the person I was gonna like, be
Chit
talking.
chat with.
Yeah. So I'm just like, oh, I see she has videos. What is she doing? She's singing, and I'm like, wow, she sounds really good. So is there anywhere that people listening to this can go and find you, maybe singing by chance? Maybe YouTube. I don't
I
know if Audible does stuff like that.
I have a couple covers on YouTube. I don't have nearly as much singing content out as I would like. Yeah, my YouTube's just my whole name, Valerie Rose Lohman. Thank you. I appreciate that. I have been toying with the idea of making a TikTok, so maybe more will happen there.
I think
Yep,
TikTok would be awesome
that's
too. Yeah.
I think it'd be
yeah.
fun. I have a lot of voice actor friends who are doing it. My friend Shelby does like Siri impressions, and it's like the funniest thing. So I want to get on that.
Yes, I definitely recommend you should do TikTok, and I will
Okay.
definitely be sure to remind Deez to leave a link in the
Okay.
YouTube for your YouTube in the section where we have description links and stuff, because I actually did like those little snippets of music that you had on there. I think your voice is great for that too. So I was just like, oh
Thank
wow, I
you.
wonder if she actually does do singing, because I know like
Yeah.
you do voice acting and stuff. So I wasn't sure if you did singing too, or if it's just like a little thing you like doing as like a little hobby. So I just thought
I thank you. I grew up doing musical theater. So I did like 10 years of like professional musical theater, and I love pop, and like I love singing. I really want to do like an animated musical because I would love to like bridge the two. That's I mean the ultimate goal is to voice a Disney princess, obviously. But yeah, I love singing. I would like to be doing it more because I miss it, and it's like weird not doing it as much as I used to.
and this brings me to my next question that I just thought of as well.
Yeah.
What is your favorite Disney princess? Do you like all of them, or is there one in particular you maybe relate to, or you like more? Maybe the significance behind the movie they were in. Stuff. Just quick question, like which one do you like the most, and
Well,
why?
I would like to play Snow White in something because
Oh,
I just think she's like the OG.
mhm.
But I think I love Anna and Rapunzel because I like that they're so flawed and weird. I love that they're like cute princesses, but they're also like have like their own mental complexes behind them. They're paranoid, and they have like fear of being abandoned and all this stuff. And I think they're the most relatable, and also I love Kristen Bell and Mandy Moore as voice actresses, so I like worship them. Yeah, those two. Or those three, I guess. Yeah.
Well, that's a very good answer. Okay, I think my favorite, and it's only because I grew up watching it,
Hmm.
be probably Ariel from The Little Mermaid, because that's something
Yeah.
my family grew up listening or like watching. And then I don't know, something about Sebastian, the crab.
Hmm.
I loved him. I don't know why. Something
I do
about his
too.
voice, under the sea, something like that just stuck to me.
Yeah.
So now I find that being one of my favorite Disney movies. But I do like some of the one of the latest ones. It made me cry. The Princess and the Frog was really good. I love that one.
Oh, so good. Tiana's
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah, I
Mm.
just showed my girlfriend Princess and the Frog for the first time, and she cried when Ray, the
Oh
firefly,
yes,
becomes a star. Uh,
yes,
and she
yes,
never cries. And all of a sudden, we're like watching the movie, and all of a sudden, I hear like muffled sobbing, and I look over, and she's like, and she never cries. So,
yes.
I love that movie.
I love that movie too, and that same scene made me cry so much. That was so
Mhm.
it hurt me on an emotional level because I just loved it. Like that scene right there just hit me, and like
Oh,
the whole story behind everything was also really great, and it's a great representation of like a princess of color, and I really like that. And I hope
yeah,
Disney decides to keep in that direction. Maybe at one point we get a Hispanic princess as well. That's
yeah,
something people want to see, you know.
I
So
fully
I
agree.
just love that they did that. So
I
that's
do
why it's one of
too.
my favorite movies.
And I think it's like so wonderful that it's about like her dream isn't something it's like something that she's like been working for her whole
Yes.
life, and she
Hmm.
like works really hard, and she's talented, and she's funny and smart, and I love that she's like so many things, but she I love that she also like again, like I love that she's a complex human being, that she's such a workaholic that she doesn't see when like love's right in front of her. That's what I loved about
Yes.
writing on all the newer princesses.
Mhm.
I think that's important because and I think that's important for the princes and every male, female, non-binary character is just creating a human experience to show people is so refreshing, and especially in animation and seeing that across all mediums for kids, for adults, for everyone. I just think it's great writing.
Yes, I agree. Especially since her goal wasn't anything like, oh, I just want to marry a cute prince. She
No.
just build the her dream like it was a dream cafe,
Yeah,
like
the restaurant,
restaurant.
Tiana's place.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, because it was like her father's dream. So that it was
Mhm.
such a relatable thing because my parents actually own like a little restaurant too, and there's something they wanted to do for a while. So they always worked at restaurants and they
Yeah.
found their own little place. So to me that was very relatable. So I'm like, oh, that's great. I love that. It's nothing
I love that.
unrealistic. Like I just want to be kissed by a prince and being woken up or stuff like that. So that's something
Yeah.
I liked about that movie.
It's like a real life experience, but like with magical elements thrown
Yes,
in.
yes, without taking away the Disney element of the movie, and that's what I really liked about it.
I agree. I completely agree.
Mm.
Yeah, because it started out with like girls in Disney movies with like princesses or damsels in distress, and now they have like the heroes, and
Yeah.
you see how it's changed over the course of time.
Yeah. And I think I was just discussing something about, I think, because I think some of the OG princesses get some flack for being passive. But I think when you look at like the collection of princesses and heroes and heroines as a whole, I think it's wonderful to see how like strength comes in so many ways. Strength comes in like fighting and like holding a sword. Strength comes in like building your business. Strength also comes in like kindness. I think that's just important to show like you can be strong in so many ways. And I think that's a great message for kids.
Yep.
I haven't cried
I-
during the Disney movie yet. I know there's
Really?
no, I know there's one movie that probably will make me. I don't know if it's probably not Disney. It's Onward. Um,
Oh, yeah.
because my daughter watched it, and
Okay.
so she watched it with her mom, um, and her mom called me. And was like, Caesar, you gotta watch this with your daughter. I said, all right, what is it about? She goes, it's father and a son. And then I was like, all right, let me speak to Ellie. So Ellie comes on the phone. She goes, Daddy, it made me cry. And then I looked at the trailer. I'm like,
Uh,
yeah, I'm not
uh,
gonna watch that because
uh,
I don't know. As a father, I think I got a little bit more sensitive. So
yeah.
seeing stuff like that, but I know I'm gonna have to watch it with her. But
Yeah. I really liked Onward. The one I know that I'm gonna cry on is Coco because everyone I know has sobbed during Coco. And I know I have to like just like sit and prepare myself because I know I will sob. I know I'll cry. Day of the Dead is gonna get me. So, whew.
Cried more with anime than I did with anything else.
Really? I'm trying
Yeah.
to think of what I cried the most on. Cried a lot on Toy Story 3.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, that one was hard.
What is your favorite anime?
I was just about to ask that. Thank you.
Ooh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Good to know.
I have to say Sailor Moon because I grew up on Sailor Moon. My sister, my sister would dress me up as Rini, Chibi Moon, all the time. Every week we'd watch it on Cartoon Network, and we would both dress up. She's 9 years older than me, so she was Sailor Moon. So that one, and then I watched a lot of like Cardcaptor Sakura. I feel like I need to start getting into. I haven't really seen a ton of newer anime, so I need to start getting into it. But I just like I love a lot of, in terms of like Japanese animation, Miyazaki films are like what I grew up alongside Disney movies. And I just think like Castle in the Sky is one of my favorites. So yeah, those ones really shaped who I was as a kid and like what I gravitate towards now.
That being said, if you really like Japanese animation movies, here's one that I recommend, which is one of my personal favorites,
Mm-hmm.
and it deals with like a term like maturity,
Mm-hmm.
and because it's about these kids in school and they bullied this girl. It's called A Silent Voice. I don't know if you ever heard of it or seen it.
No.
I think it's a really good movie.
Okay.
This kid was a bully to this blind girl, or no, deaf girl, not blind. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Was a bully to her. Would rip her ears out, and then I guess as you grow up, you realize like, hey, that was messed up. I shouldn't be doing that. But
Oh.
because of that, he was isolated by the whole class. Like everyone dislikes him because of that.
Okay.
And obviously he bullied this girl. He realized it, so he tried to commit suicide one day.
Mm-hmm.
And his mom didn't want that, and he ends up actually meeting the girl again, and he tries to, I guess, make up for what he did by like
Mm-hmm.
talking to her and like trying to help her. And I think it's a good movie, so I would definitely give
Okay.
it a try. A Silent Voice is what it's called. I
Silent
think
Voice.
you'll like. It made me cry. That
Okay,
movie
I
was
have
great.
to watch that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure any anime fan would probably recommend that movie. If
Yeah.
not, they'll recommend a movie like Your Name, which is also really good. But I prefer
Yeah.
A Silent Voice.
My sister loved Your Name. I haven't seen it yet. It's on my watch list. But I've heard fantastic. She saw it at a screening in LA. So on the list for sure.
Yep. So definitely add A Silent Voice to that.
Okay.
'Cause I would recommend it. And then
Okay.
while we're on the topic of anime, what do you think is your favorite genre? Well, out of the ones you've seen, like.
I mean, I love anything like fantasy, like epic y. I want to watch Cowboy Bebop, I think, because I've seen clips of it and I feel like it's kind of got that like Guardians of the Galaxy, like Western space cowboy vibe. So I think I would really like that. I love anything like stylish and cool or magical.
Magical.
Yeah. So I kind of like run the gamut. I just kind of, I don't know. I'm kind of like, I wouldn't say that I'm just like one genre type of girl.
No, and I understand that, but I always gravitate more myself towards like romance and like action and adventure
Okay.
type things.
For
So
sure.
that's what I meant. Like, if you have like a certain genre, you gravitate more to. But I also enjoy like everything else, like fighting, horror, anything really. As
Yeah.
long as it's well, the characters are great. Doesn't really
Yeah.
matter. I think I can enjoy it. But if it has like an underlying theme of like, I don't know, romance or adventure, like I would probably gravitate to those more.
Yeah, I got you. I think probably the same. Probably romance and adventure. If there's like that theme underlying, I'm usually for it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I did see, and sorry for like going through like your Instagram. I was like, I wonder if you're a Pokemon fan because I think it was a
My
picture of you
God.
and your brother.
Yeah.
And you guys were like hugging a Pikachu, I think.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
was like, oh, you must be like a Pokemon fan. And I am also a Pokemon fan because I grew up watching them, Pokemon as a kid,
Mhm.
Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Dragon Ball and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yes, I was just wondering, like, are you a Pokemon fan by any chance? Is there any kind of Pokemon that you find being like your favorite by any chance?
I always loved Eevee because I loved that Eevee could evolve into like 7 different things.
Yes.
I thought that was so cool. I was a huge. I haven't been into it in like the last maybe 10 years, but as a kid, like people don't believe me, but I finally found the photos as proof. Um, I had okay, so there's a mall near my house called Main Place in Santa Ana that every week my parents would go. I don't know why we would go. We would end up there every week because what do you do with your three kids? You go wander around the air conditioned mall. And every week I would get 3 new Pokemon figurines. And sometimes we would see, well, and every time a Pokemon movie came out, we'd go see it in theaters and then we'd go to Main Place and get more figurines. So I amassed like a 500 figurine collection of like different Pokemon. And I entered it into the Orange County Fair, like I think 2 years in a row, and I won like first place for my age group. Like people don't believe me, but like I was like 5 and I built with my mom's help like a full display for all of my Pokemon. And like there was a card collecting place by my house where I'd go pick. I had no idea how to play the card game at all, but I like to look at
Me
them.
neither.
No,
But I like the card. Yeah.
I like cards too. I and then like when they had, I remember when like the Mewtwo movie came out, they had the toys at McDonald's, and that
Yeah.
we went to like every McDonald's to get them
Try to
all.
collect.
Mhm. Mhm. So I was a big Pokemon girl. The one with Mewtwo still makes me cry when they
Yeah.
all turn to stone and Pikachu cries. Ah,
Oh, oh my God. I was actually about to say, I'm gonna take a guess and say that one was your favorite just because of the
yeah,
topic conflict. And
yeah.
I was right. That's also
Okay.
my favorite one. I actually recently went back because I found a clip of it on Instagram of
Mhm.
that scene with Pikachu and Ash, and I just started crying again from just watching that.
So
Ah,
good. And then that
good.
one, I love that one. And then I can never remember which one this is, but it's the where there's the Pokemon that are all the different letters and they make that weird alphabet and there's the girl trapped in the house in the
The,
mansion. Is
the
it like the third
unknown.
one? Yeah,
Yeah.
Pokemon Unknown.
Yes, and it has to do with Entei and
Yeah.
Charizard and Ash. And then yes, that one. Yes.
Yeah, and it's got like the three I remember I got Teddy Ursa, which was the little teddy bear looking one from that one that I loved. Um yeah, that one I really liked a lot because that was like and I loved that it was like the when 3D and animation first started like coming into play.
Mhm.
So I loved all those. But the Mewtwo one is chef's kiss, perfection.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
good.
Yeah,
I think I have to go. My
no,
bad,
go ahead, go
Diesel.
ahead, go ahead. No, it's good stuff.
I'd have to go and say that I think the Pokemon movies are always really well done, especially a lot of the newer ones and the older ones, which, like I said, Mewtwo's my favorite. I think the
I like
second
the live
favorite one,
action one.
I think they have live
Yeah,
action.
they do.
It was pretty good. The live action one was pretty good. It was
Um,
Detective Pikachu. That's what it was.
yeah.
Oh
Um,
yeah, that one.
the boy in it, Justice Smith, he and I went to high school together.
Okay, small
Oh
So
world.
yeah. So I was very excited when
yeah.
he was in that. I was like, you're in a Pokemon movie. What? That's like the dream. So yeah, I love that movie and I loved Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu. I thought it was so cute.
I think the Lugia one was my second favorite one, just because the whole topic of restoring balance to the world. If you disrupt it, the world will turn to ash, which is like a play on words on the main character. The world would turn to ash, not to ash. Like.
Hmm.
But I just love that too, and then the whole Guardian of the Sea thing was really cool.
Really
I love
cool.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. Well done. Well done writing.
Yep. All
As
right.
a fellow Charmander fan, I'm so mad that I missed this trend because my daughter's already 9, but I see these TikTok videos where like the parents will put like a stuffed Bulbasaur, um, Charmander and a Squirtle in front of the child and like which one are you gonna choose? And the baby waddles over to pick one. And it's like yes, you picked that one.
Yep.
Um, my next kid, I'm definitely gonna do that. And since since
I love
since
that.
Suna brought it up and me and him are known for you know not being nice to each other. I just have to say,
Yeah.
I grew up playing Yu-Gi-Oh, so I think that's the reason why I beat him in Yu-Gi-Oh Legacy of the Duelist and sent him to the Shadow Realm, which I don't even know why he's here because he's supposed to be still there.
Yo, I'm down here. You see why the screen's all dark? It's very cozy down here. I got a nice home down here. The shadow room's really nice. I think I see Bakura outside. I'm just what's
My favorite anime is Naruto, and that's just you said yours was Sailor Moon. I know my wife would love you right now.
She a Sailor
So
Moon person? Oh yeah, you talked about that. You talked about that at Anime Con.
she's a big Sailor Moon fan. So we started long distance. She lived in Cali, and I live in New York.
Mm-hmm.
But before she moved over here, I was like, you know what? It's her birthday. Let me get her something. So I got these Funko Pops. I got a tuxedo mask and a Sailor Moon.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, the Sailor Moon ones like gave me a warning. Like, are you sure you want to ship this to her? Because it could cause cancer. I'm like,
Oh,
what? So I was like, okay, let me see what happens. So I tried to ship it to myself, and there was no warning. But only in California, if you ship this one Funko Pop to California, it had a warning. So that was weird. And she was like, "You're trying to kill
what?
me before you even meet me?" I said, "Look, yeah, it's stupid, but here, you just keep it in the box."
That's a dangerous Sailor Moon. Oh my gosh.
After that, I learned to just avoid things with warnings. I think I got it this
Yeah.
music box with the Sailor Moon theme song.
That's cute. That's really cute. We had a lot of Sailor Moon merch when I was growing up. A lot. Because of my sister. So I love that.
Okay. Is there anything you like to add, Mr. No Good Sooner?
Uh, with the whole Sailor Moon. Well, it feels nice to be single, I guess. I don't know. Well, I like Sailor Moon, but I'm not too invested into it, so I don't know too much about it. But it's nice to see that. I mean, there's some people that really like the show, even though it's an older show. It just
Hmm.
goes to show that no matter how old the show is, it's gonna have fans, and like
Oh
older
yeah.
animation is great. I still go back and watch older stuff because I actually enjoy it more than some of the newer stuff at times. So I guess that's what I'll add to that.
There's a nice timeless quality about a lot of it that you can go back and like enjoy it however long ago it was made.
So Miss Valerie, and I
Yeah.
was gonna ask to someone that's looking, because I have a friend of mine that's actually looking to getting into voice acting. What
Hmm.
advice would you give to them, like for someone that's like entirely new to this but just wants to like get into it as like a profession? What kind of
Yeah.
advice, a tip would you give to him? Because I'm pretty sure he would love to hear this.
Well, it's actually great you asked because someone just asked me that today, and I can just send them this podcast and be like, "Listen here." Um, I think the most important thing is learning how to act first because that because it's really not I don't think I mean I think that there's a really huge market for like impressions and character voices and things and that's so important learning how to do different things with your voice but unless you know how to act first and foremost in any medium it's not going to translate through um so I think if you have a voice that you if you want to do it, get into an acting class first. And then what I always tell people is know what's special about you. Like, I know what I specialize in. I don't specialize in a ton of impressions and like different kinds of voices because that's not usually what I get hired to do. I usually get hired to do something really similar to my own speaking voice. So I was like, but I also have a lot of friends that like their niche is I worked with someone who only does animal impressions and he's worked
Oh,
for ever. Um and I know lots of people that do like elderly characters and kids and so know what you're good at and start there. And that doesn't mean you can't keep expanding, but know what you're good at to start because that's how you're going to start getting actual work. Um and yeah, acting class, acting class, acting class, and a voice class because I know a lot of people that like yelling and stuff like that, especially in video games, is really vocally strenuous. And unless you are doing it healthy, you can damage your voice, and then you don't have a career because your voice is done within 5 years of working. I have had 10 years of vocal classes, like singing classes and things like that. So I really try to be healthy with my voice because I want to still be doing this when I'm 90.
mhm.
Um, and I think the preservation of your voice is really important because no job is worth destroying your money maker. So
Yeah.
all of that.
Can I add one final thing as well before, because I know we're about
Yeah.
to wrap. Um, so do you think, when it comes to like voice acting and like singing, do you think it's something that is like something that comes to someone naturally? Like if you're not good at it, you're not good at it, or do you think it's like something you can train your voice to kind of match what you're trying to go for?
I think I think you inherently have a type of voice that you are born with, but in terms of like getting better, Oh my gosh, my sister is gonna kill me for saying this. My sister is an opera singer, and she's got a
Yeah.
gorgeous voice. She came out of the womb singing. She's like I said, she's 9 years older. When I first started trying to sing when I was like 7, 8, 9, I was awful. I had no sense of pitch or anything. So, and like also I also remember like my first big voiceover job. I thought I'm pretty sure I was terrible, and I'm pretty sure I almost got fired. And somehow I didn't. But like through learning and getting better and like watching other people's work, I have gotten to where I am today. So it's just, I really think that it's persistent work. If you say that you want to do this, you have to put in the actual work because it is work. It's a job. Um,
Mhm.
I still take classes. I still learn from different people. I watch stuff so I know what people who are booking stuff, what they're doing. Um, so if you treat it like a job, it will become your job. I firmly believe.
Okay, that's actually a really good answer. I appreciate you for answering these because
Of
I know we usually
course.
hour time limit. So we kind of went over it because I
You're
decided
good.
to ask these last questions, and I am so it's been an honor to have you here.
It's been a
First,
Uh,
blast. This is a great what's today? Sunday? It's a great
Sunday,
Sunday afternoon.
great Sunday.
Who knows what day it is anymore? Really? Who knows?
we're all just up inside. We don't know what day it is. Okay.
I don't know. Really.
Days just blend. You just you just get stuck in a routine and you just forget what time of day it is or what day it
Yeah.
is.
I know the sun is out right now and that's about it.
Yeah, you're 3 hours behind me. I think the sun is about to start going down over here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's 7 o'clock where you are at, right?
Hmm.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right, with that said, this is the end of episode 4 of Sakura, the most useless talk show about anime and gaming. And as always, we have to thank our special guest, actress, voiceover artist, and princess,
Well,
Valerie
thank you.
Rose Lohman.
This was a blast, guys.
This was amazing, and we
Oh,
definitely got to do a follow up. I
Please. Love that.
I would love to just take like 10 minutes and just talk about the messages you will receive.
Yes. I would love to do a follow up. That'll be in like a month and a half. I would love that.
You got 7. There's like 13 episodes. Yeah, 6 months.
Yeah.
6 weeks. 6 weeks.
Yep. Let's do it. I'm down for it.
I'm down. We
all
will
right.
definitely schedule that. Is there
Please.
anything you would like to say before we leave, Valerie?
Oh my gosh. Thank you. And keep watching Tower of God to find out what happens to Rachel. And I am not Rachel. I just voice her. So
Yep.
please,
Just let
please
everybody
don't
know.
harm me.
Valerie is not Rachel, so stay off with the hate. All right. With that said, all her links will definitely be in the description. Her link tree link and everything. Please go follow her. Check Valerie out. And if you're not watching Tower of God, I honestly don't know what's wrong with you. With that said, from me and no good sooner. Would you like to say bye?
Well, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. This has been great. Valerie's a great person, a great actually voice actress, and I am glad she actually managed to come on here to find the time because I know it could probably be very busy. So it was an honor to have you here,
It's
and
my pleasure.
your time was greatly appreciated. Thank you
Of
for giving us
course.
much insight into the life of a voice actress and just in general what it's like behind the scenes and stuff. So we really appreciate you coming out here.
Of course. Thanks again for having me.
All right, Valerie. Thank you so much for
Of course.
coming on our little show. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, okay?
Thank you. You too, Val.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.